Hello, I'm Mike Huckman, and on this last day of the 2019 Bio International Convention, we're going to take a look at some of the highlights from our interviews and convention coverage this week on Good Day Bio.
I'm here on the exhibit floor visiting with one of this year's tri-state area hosts. Earlier, I spoke with representatives from Pennsylvania, Delaware, and New Jersey about the exciting things happening this week.
Hello, I'm Helen Stimson, and I'm the President and CEO of the Delaware Bioscience Association. And I'd like to welcome you here to the floor of Bio as we're setting up for this exciting convention. We're going to be having a reception at our booth at the end of the day today and welcome you to join us. While you're here, head down to the academic zone and check out the National Institute for Biopharmaceutical Manufacturing, which is located at the University of Delaware. We're glad you're here.
In New Jersey, our delegation is being led by none other than Governor Phil Murphy. We will be featuring New Jersey Boardwalk Fair and also patient advocate and artist Max Schill. So come on by booth 1501. I promise it'll be fun.
Life Sciences Pennsylvania and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania are thrilled to have everyone here for the Bio Convention. Join us this evening for our reception, 5:30 to 7, where we'll have the gourmet cheesesteaks.
The exhibit floor will be opening soon, and there's a lot to see and do. This year, attendees can enjoy a stroll down Bio Boulevard, take in some mini golf at the Hole-in-One, capitalize on professional headshots with the Headshot Lounge, and even challenge yourself in the Bio Maze. Also, between 11 and 4 today, don't forget to stop by Lounge D for the Build-A-Bear workshop. Here, attendees can build a unique bear and include a personalized note to be donated to a child in need through Ruby's Kids, an amazing charity helping provide valuable resources to the community.
Joining us now to talk about future plans for Bio are Jim Greenwood and incoming Bio Board Chair Dr. Jeremy Levin, who's also the Chairman and CEO of an emerging biotechnology company called Ovid Therapeutics. Gentlemen, welcome to Good Day Bio. It is great to have this opportunity to speak to you both. Let's start with you, Jim. Bio Convention is back in the state, Pennsylvania, that you obviously used to represent in Congress. So how important is this area, not just Pennsylvania, but let's think about Delaware, New Jersey, what you like to call the Silicon Valley. How important is it to biotechnology?
Well, gene therapy, which is really about taking a patient who has a mutated gene and replacing that with the correct gene, right? And this is the greatest frontier of biotechnology. What's happened in Philadelphia was 20 years ago, a young man died in one of the early experiments, and it set gene therapy back for a very long period of time. For it to reoccur here in Philadelphia, Sparks Therapeutic, doing the amazing things they have done.
Who we're going to have on the show.
Right, and for gene therapy and cell therapy to be taking place and centered here in this area is just a wonderful recovery story for the city of Philadelphia.
And for medicine.
And for medicine.
Absolutely. Dr. Levin, as you take the gavel as the new Bio Board Chair, what are your and the board's top priorities for the next couple of years or so?
Mike, delighted to be here. And Jim, thank you and the Bio team for all that you've done, and the board, thank them for electing me. My priorities are pretty straightforward. We're an industry of innovation. We're going to focus on innovation. Anything that can stimulate innovation. And as we look at that, we're also going to confront in a very, very steadfast fashion and a very clear and transparent fashion the issues of pricing. How do we reduce the cost to patients? A lot to be done there. We'll engage with all stakeholders. We'll engage fundamentally with Congress, physicians, and at the end of the day, we'll ask one question: how can we benefit the patient?
Dr. Levin, we have seen so many advances, some of which Jim just referred to, in the field of rare disease medicine specifically. Even just this week, we saw conditional European approval of a new gene therapy for a rare blood disorder. So as the CEO also of a company, Ovid Therapeutics, that's working in rare diseases, are we still in the early days here? What's the promise? What's the hope?
Mike, there are 7,000 rare diseases, 30,000 families across America, so roughly about 120 million Americans who suffer from these diseases. So for us, rare diseases are just beginning to open up. We've gone into Angelman's, rare disorders of epilepsy. Others are beginning to look into some of the key gene defects and fix them. So I think that we are on the cusp of a revolution.
Let's all hope that's the case. Jim, you mentioned gene therapy. We've talked about rare diseases. Besides those things, as the head of Bio, what else gives you hope? Whether it's in therapeutic discovery and development, whether it's a new technology, a new platform, or even in the food supply for your member companies?
Well, working on rare diseases is absolutely critical, and the kind of work that Dr. Levin and his company and others are doing is spectacular. We still have huge diseases that affect millions and millions of people. So take Alzheimer's disease, all right? It's costing us $250 billion a year, and by 2050 it'll be up to $1 trillion a year. We can't afford that. We have spent billions and billions and billions of dollars, biotech companies, trying to find a treatment for Alzheimer's, and they've all failed. So we have to still keep at it. We will succeed at that. But in the meantime, Congress has to make sure it doesn't destroy the incentives for us to continue to invest in these very risky enterprises.
And not just the economic cost, but certainly the personal and the family cost.
Alzheimer's is a terrible disease for the patient and for all of their loved ones.
Yep. Jim Greenwood, Dr. Jeremy Levin, thank you so much for being here on Good Day Bio. Have a great rest of the conference. And Dr. Levin, best wishes as you take the gavel as Bio Board Chair.
Thank you, Mike.
Philadelphia is full of history and iconic places to visit during your trip. We spoke to a few attendees to find out what they were looking forward to seeing outside of the convention.
It feels like an old town, but at the same time it's so energetic.
This is where the country started. You can walk down the street to Independence Hall.
Some running this morning along the canal, which was beautiful. And then I came here and I was inside all day.
I managed to have a good walk yesterday, saw the Liberty Bell, went down to Independence and around those parks and stuff, saw some squirrels, which is a new experience for us as well.
Liberty Bell, Rocky Art Museum.
I was at the Barnes Museum. That is fantastic. I can actually tell everyone that's really something you have to see.
I'm from Montreal, Canada, so the hockey connection's a big one for me. Hockey season's done, so I'm not able to do that. I'm going to go take on those stairs, and I'm going to get the theme of Rocky to accompany me, and I look forward to that.
If you have some spare time, or better yet, just make the time to check out the Startup Stadium competition right here on the exhibit hall floor today and the first half of tomorrow. You'll get to listen to the leaders of select nascent companies from all over the world and from across the life sciences spectrum do live 6-minute pitches with a lot on the line. They're all competing for a sizable prize. Nareg Sagirian, Bio's Director of Investor Relations and Programming, oversees that contest, and Lori Ackman, the Chief Marketing and Communications Officer of UPenn's Center for Innovation, is one of this year's judges. I spoke with them earlier about this cool competition. Welcome to Good Day Bio. It's great to have the two of you here.
Thank you for having us.
Sure, so let's start with you, Nareg, because I think there's probably a good deal of people out there who don't know what the Startup Stadium is. What is it?
It is Bio's own version of Shark Tank. It's where we kind of put the spotlight on early stage companies, very, very early stage companies, and we have them apply to our program, have them go through a round of review, and then we pick our finalists and have them present in front of stakeholders within the Bio International Convention and potentially get 3 prizes if they get chosen as a winner.
And so 50 companies have been selected to do live 6-minute pitches here on the exhibit hall floor.
Exactly. The 50 companies will present in front of 6 to 10 judges for 6 minutes. They'll get 8 minutes of Q&A, kind of back and forth feedback, and then we will select a winner from each of the 5 sessions.
And Lori, you're one of those judges who gets to watch these live pitches and then test them with some of the Q&A, and you also help select the finalists from the field of about 150 that applied to be here at Bio.
Right.
So what appealed to you or appeals to you? What are the things that you look for in a good pitch?
Well, at Penn, I've had the opportunity to see some amazing startups emerge out of our research portfolio. And so what I'm really looking for out of these pitches is compelling science, or science that
Number
I think
one.
will have an impact and is different or is filling a gap in what's already out there. Number two, I look for a market need. So what problem is it solving or helping to solve even further? And number three, I look for experience and passion. It's really hard to move a startup forward. You're presented with hurdles every day. So having passion and even the CEO's personal story, I think, can help connect you to why you think this startup is really going to make it.
All makes perfect sense and sound like excellent criteria to use. What's at the end of the rainbow? What do the winners get?
Absolutely. The winners each get 3 prizes. They get a Bio Prize, which is a membership to Bio. They get a Venture Investor Prize, which is an interaction with a biotech venture capital firm. And they get an Innovation Prize, which is an investment potentially by an accelerator within the ecosystem and within the biotech ecosystem. So it's something where we can hopefully take them and get them to that next stage of life, that small, medium-sized enterprise level. And whatever we can do, we try to do it here at Bio.
And Lori, as you mentioned, as somebody who's seen firsthand what startups at the UPenn level need, how crucial are those things in the early stage of a company?
Oh, it's amazing. Not only the access to money, but the resources and the advice you would get through an accelerator, incubator, and being part of the biotech ecosystem. That is what really helps accelerate the growth of any startup. In Philadelphia and at Penn, we've tried to create a similar ecosystem. What Bio has done is kind of brought this to a huge international level. So I think the visibility and the relationships and the resources are an amazing potential win for any startup that is successful in this competition.
Great, well, good luck judging the rest of the way, and we will look forward to hearing who the winners are tomorrow on Thursday.
Absolutely.
Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The confounding thing about the drug pricing debate is that patients and politicians aren't talking about the same price. Patients want their out-of-pocket costs lowered. They care about what they have to pay at the pharmacy counter. And many of the policies being debated now won't make a significant difference in what patients pay out of their own pockets. Let me tell you why. Half of employer-provided health insurance policies today come with high deductibles. So if your policy has a $3,000 deductible and you need a $10,000 medicine, you're going to have to pay $3,000. Now, even if government price controls could cut the price of that drug in half to $5,000, the patient would still have to come up with $3,000. Government price controls might help insurance companies, but they wouldn't do much for patients. And if the politicians decide to replace the market's judgment of what a cure is worth to a patient with the government's arbitrary judgment of what that cure is worth, well, you can take this to the bank. Our investors will put their money somewhere else.
This year, there are more than 70 countries exhibiting here at Bio, and one that was in key focus at a special summit event last night is China. It is a fast-growing biotechnology community, and it's offering greater access to life sciences companies to bring their medicines to the Chinese people. But with that comes a variety of new challenges. So joining us now is Joe DeMond, Bio Executive Vice President for International Affairs, and Wendy Pan. She's a partner in the life sciences practice at the Goodwin Law Firm's Hong Kong office. Welcome to you both. It's great to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Glad to be here.
So just based on the sheer size of the population, the medical need is so great in China, especially as it's continuing to develop. So how easy or daunting is it to try to bring therapies to the Chinese population?
Go ahead.
It's becoming much easier. In the past 12 to 24 months, Chinese FDA has adopted a number of amendments. It makes it easier for multinationals to conduct trials in China. Most importantly, the interest from the China side remain extremely strong to bring cutting-edge medicines to Chinese market.
So that's the opportunity. What are the top challenges facing biotech today in China?
I think that for smaller biotechs, one of the challenges, of course, is just understanding the Chinese market. Sometimes you have to do a partnership to do that, either with a big global company or with a Chinese company. That's one challenge. Another challenge is I think there are still some issues with respect to the enforcement of intellectual property rights in China. I do think also, though, the Chinese laws and acknowledgement of the importance of intellectual property rights have also improved in the last several years, but it's still something you have to to think about. But China's a big country, so if you want to have access to over 1 billion patients, that's not an easy thing to do. That involves building a network of people that can help you understand. Every province is a little bit different. Every province has different conditions under which maybe they'll pay for a drug, that sort of thing. So it takes a lot of understanding.
And Wendy, back on the positive side of the ledger, there's been a recent good development on the equity side of things. Tell us about that.
Oh, you are talking about the Hong Kong Exchange's new listing rule for pre-revenue biotech companies. It started about a year ago. So far, there were 7 companies which have been successfully listed on Hong Kong Exchange under this new rule. And also there's a strong pipeline of IPO candidates. Previously, PRC, mainland China, its listing rule is very similar to the Hong Kong rule, which means you have to have revenue, you have to have profitability before you can be considered for an IPO.
And the PRC is?
People's Republic of China.
Thank you.
China also has adopted a rule for pre-revenue innovative companies, including biotech companies.
So it sounds like inevitable challenges, but lots of opportunities out there in China for biotech today. Wendy, Joe, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This year, there are more than 50,000 partnership meetings taking place at the convention. They've grown to become one of the most important components of this annual meeting. Here with more is Bio's Director of Partnering Products and Services, Willie Reeves.
It's day 3 of partnering at the Bio International Convention in Philadelphia for 2019, and things are buzzing. As you can see around me, there's tons of meeting activity going on here. Last year in 2018, we set a Guinness World Record for the world's largest partnering event, and we've already beat that number with nearly 50,000 meetings this year. It's really fantastic to see all of the different types of companies from around and across the life science industry being able to connect, fueling the partnerships that really drive our industry forward. There's investment going on, there are panels, there are sessions, but in partnering, it all starts with one meeting, idea, conversation, one partnership, and it all starts right here at Bio 2019.
I'm Mike Huckman at Good Day Bio, and it is always a pleasure to welcome congratulations. And we're also joined by Seema Kumar, who is Johnson & Johnson's Vice President of Innovation Communication, and J&J sponsors the BioGenius contest. So thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us. Yeah.
So first of all, tell us what your winning project is, Neil.
So essentially the way that I like to describe it is a AI healthcare assistant. So one big problem, especially in less fortunate areas, is the fact that there's a really weird indifference between the amount of doctors there are and the actual population. Mm-hmm. So in some areas of Asia and Africa, there's a single doctor for every 20,000 people.
Wow. And
there's no way that that single doctor can go to every one of those people, right?
So that was the problem you were solving
exactly.
for. Yeah.
So essentially my device conducts medical analysis automatically, because you don't really need a doctor to go and gather the results for all these types of biometric data. You can have a machine and a neural network algorithm actually kind of conduct that analysis for you and then kind of optimize it to be sent to the doctor.
So Neil, how does it work?
So
what do you do with
I can give you a little bit of a demo, and essentially it's a 5-minute test. So it can detect four types of different kinds of anomalies. So it can do cardiac analysis, it can do dermatological or skin analysis, it can do cognitive analysis, and it can also do just general symptomatic analysis.
Wow.
And on top of that, generally what it will do after it has all those types of analyses from the patient is it will actually single out the anomalies in the data. So I can show you kind of how the setup process would be. It's fairly simple. I'm going to try putting this A little bit
Up here?
higher up,
All right,
yeah.
so all three have to go on my arm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can.
All these sensors.
Exactly. So I'm just gonna boot this up again.
Okay.
And what each one of these is, it's an EKG lead, and what it's gonna do is it's gonna track the activity of your heart.
How quickly?
Actually, it's only around a 10-second test just for the data collection. And then the other series of tests take a little bit longer, but this one is the one that actually I believe to be able to be used by these doctors really efficiently, because compared to a lot of algorithms right now, the device doesn't just say, okay, you have this disease or you don't. And it doesn't just give you raw information back, because my mom's a doctor, right? She doesn't want to look through an entire EKG signal and try to zoom in and figure out exactly where the problems are. So with this device and the algorithms, it actually identifies the anomalous portion of the EKG wave for her, so that when she gets the analysis from the device, it just says, look at this part, confirm or deny whether the algorithm is correct in its analysis.
Neil, are you sure you're 16?
I am, yeah.
Have we checked your ID? Seema, every single year, every young person comes in here who wins this contest, who competes in this contest, and they blow me away.
Absolutely, yeah. It is just remarkable. You know, we see year after year, and this BioGenius has been going on for 26 years. So imagine the number of innovation, the number of ideas that have come through as a result of this program.
It's so inspiring.
Very inspiring, yes.
And it doesn't stop here. So minds like Neil's, with a $7,500 prize, I might add, for winning the contest here at Bio. But you're also looking to nurture, let's say, adult scientists and entrepreneurs in your program called J-Labs. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. So, you know, great ideas can come from anywhere. And if you just keep your eyes open, you can see ideas spark from all across the world. And, you know, we are always looking for ideas, new ideas, for ways to solve healthcare challenges that we as a society face, not only here in the developed world, but all over the world, in parts of the world where we have resource infrastructure challenges. So our J-Labs facilities are incubation facilities where there's 13 of them now, and we're launching the newest one, grand opening of it in Shanghai end of this month. And across those J-Labs in the world, as well as the innovation centers, which we have many across the world as well, we've been able to sort of create a powerful network of innovation. We're calling it the grid, because great ideas can come from anywhere, and they come from the younger generation, from the older generation, from all kinds of geographies, from all kinds of genders, all kinds of ethnicities. So if you're just open to those ideas, then those ideas can help us solve healthcare challenges of the future.
Phenomenal. An inventor, an entrepreneur, and even a thought leader already at age 16. Seema, Neil, thank you for being here. Congratulations. And that's the latest from here at Good Day Bio.
Thank you. We've been having a great time talking to people about the Philadelphia food scene and what they're excited about.
Absolutely, if you're going to be here a couple of days, everyone's favorite is Jim's on South Street. So go to Jim's, but it doesn't stay open too late, so definitely get down to South Street, see some history, and have a cheesesteak there.
It's called Venice South? Yeah. It was in the Fisherman?
Fishtown?
Fishtown. Yeah.
I'm trying to take it easy. I saw cheesesteaks, and I think I'm not going to eat any of those. A lot of whoopie pies. The Reading Market looks amazing. So
my coworker told me about the cheese steak, right?
Yes, that's exactly right. I took too big of a bite. I can't talk.
For the last several years, Bio has been working to help the sector make faster progress when it comes to diversity and inclusion. At this year's convention, the organization is unveiling the next campaign in its ongoing efforts called The Right Mix Matters. Joining us to talk about what that means is Dr. Helen Torley. She's the CEO of a company called Halozyme, as well as a Bio board member and chair of the Workforce Development, Diversity and Inclusion Committee. And we're also joined by Joanne Duncan, Bio President of Membership and Business Operations. Welcome to the show, ladies. It's great to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So let's start by talking about why there's still a need to focus on this issue, if you will, of diversity and inclusion, specifically as it relates to the biotechnology sector.
Thanks, Mike. If you pick up any survey, you'll see that we have a large gap, both in biotech leadership as well as board in diverse representation. That includes gender, racial, and LGBTQ. And this matters because survey after survey shows us that top quartile companies in terms of diversity and gender and race outperform other companies and are more innovative.
So as a result of that, you're unveiling here at this year's Bio the next campaign, which is called The Right Mix Matters. What's inside?
Oh, there's two parts to The Right Mix Matters. We think the title alone, Right Mix Matters, as Helen just described, makes a huge difference in the success of a company. And as a result of that, we've launched two initiatives, the Bio Board List and the Diversity and Inclusion Toolkit, which are both part of Bio's website as well and part of the Right Mix Matters campaign.
And what do those allow people to do?
Yes, let me start with the Bio Board List. This is a curated board list that's searchable by any Bio member to identify candidates who are ready now to be board members. These are people who may be senior vice presidents in companies, not prior CEOs, who are not on the radar screen or in the networks of boards today. And so this introduces and creates a virtual network, if you like, that board members and CEOs can search to bring diverse candidates into their candidate pools, and we believe that will result in a rapid change in the diversity of boards in biotech. And John, do you want to comment on the toolkit?
You know, stepping back one step is what Helen indicated. We are trying to drive more diversity in the C-suite, more diversity on boards, in the boardrooms. And in order to do that, these two tools are helping support that. We literally have an initiative in place to drive that change by 2025. So in order to do that, as Helen described, we have the board list, and the Right Mix Matters also has the toolkit, which is inside. It's really to enhance the workforce itself, to hire properly, to educate properly, to inform your employees, to help them advance through the organization, because that right mix matters within the workforce itself, within a biotech company.
And Dr. Torley, are you stopping there? Are you just going to have these two tools in the toolbox?
No, we really see this as just the beginning. We're doing a survey at the moment of all biotech members, seeking to understand what they're doing today to advance diversity and inclusion so that we can understand and capture the very best ideas. We will add these on to today's base because we will achieve this goal of doubling diversity in the C-suite and also in the boards by 2025.
Thank you both for being here, and we look forward to seeing the right mix achieved throughout the biotechnology sector.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next year in San Diego for the 2020 Bio International Convention.